Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another cool subject. Today's video will be about the evolution of emojis. I mean, I know that it's not a video game, but I was actually just texting the other day and thought, hey, that's weird. How did emojis take over how we talk to each other? And so I decided to make a video about the story of emojis. In 2015, the Oxford English Dictionary's word of the year was not actually a word, but rather an emoji. This emoji was the tears of joy. Not too long ago, it would have seemed absurd to give such an honor to a cartoon smiley, but the fact that emojis have become so phenomenally popular in such a short amount of time might have something to do with it. According to a study by SwiftKey, which is a keyboard app, people used emojis 3 times as much in 2015 than the previous year. Using pictures to convey a message has been around for hundreds of years in the form of rock paintings. The pictures used in this case are called pictograms or pictographs. These were meant to be a literal representation of actual things found in the world, like for example the sun. And as cultures developed, so did the type of communication. Logograms and ideograms came into play. Logograms are images or characters meant to stand in for a word. For example, an X standing in for multiply in mathematics. And ideograms are symbols that represent an abstract idea, like for example a no smoking sign or traffic sign. As online communication became more prevalent, it was inevitable that icons would come into use, in the same way that ideograms and pictograms did back in the day. This is where emoticons, the forefather of emojis, come into play. Emoticons are still used this day when the option of using emojis isn't available. But just to explain, emoticons are the use of punctuation marks, numbers and letters to express a certain mood or feeling. And fun fact, it would surprise many to learn that emoticons were used in Morse code and print as far back as the 1800s. If you were to send out the number 73, you were sending the recipient love and kisses. Around the same time, magazines started publishing their own versions of emoticons and their interpretation, but still no set form had been established. In 1982, Scott Fahlman, a computer scientist, was the first to use the smiley and sad face emoticons that we know today, and after that it spread online. Around 1986, Japan developed a version of emoticons that could be read without the need to tilt one's head to the left. These were called cow emojis. A cow emoji is a Japanese word merging cow, which is expression, with moji, which is character. Here are some examples of horizontal cow emojis. They were widely used back in the day, and many people adopted them. And this gave cow emojis the opportunity to spread to other areas like online gaming and overall texting. The first emojis ever created were by Shigetaka Kurita. While he was working on a mobile internet platform for a Japanese mobile operator, the idea was to use these images to appeal to a teenage market. He took inspiration from symbols used in weather forecasts, Chinese characters, and street signs. He ultimately created about 180 emojis. Emojis were widely used back in the day on Japanese mobile phones since the late 1990s. But they only became popular in the Western world when they were included in iPhones in 2011. It was then adopted by Android and other operating systems shortly after. Since emojis originated in Japan, it should come as no surprise that many of the emojis we use today are actually rooted in Asian tradition. Despite emojis having different meanings in different cultures, emojis have become something that can be universally understood and even help people communicate across language barriers. Ever since the addition of the 4 extra skin tones to choose from in 2015, it has become an even more relatable medium for people from all around the world. It has been shown in recent studies that the type of emojis you use are influenced by nationality and cultural backgrounds. For example, Brazilians use more than double the amount of religious-themed emojis, like the prayer hands and church. The Russians are the most romantic, with their favorites being the kiss mark. And surprisingly enough, Canadians were found to use the most violent type of emojis, like the knife, gun, punching fist, and explosions. It has also been found that emojis are just as popular amongst people over the age of 35 as it is with teenagers. Many people have commented about how their parents actually use it more than they do. And there are many reasons for this, including that it is easier to use and a clear way to get the points across without the need to explain yourself too much with text. And another thing about emojis is that now we take them for granted. But let us think about how it started. In the beginning, every provider used different styles of emojis, and many phones did not have all the emojis. And so if someone uses an Android and another person an iPhone, they sometimes wouldn't be able to see each other's emojis. That's when emojis themselves got integrated into Unicode. And this is how we can copy and paste emojis from different platforms with ease. And you can now copy a text from Instagram to Twitter to Facebook to Discord, and all the emojis are translated into the platform's art style. In any case, I just think that emojis are very cool, and the history behind them is also pretty interesting. And the fact that we can send a whole message using emojis is actually crazy. Well, maybe not. But it doesn't matter. If you think emojis are a lazy way of communicating, or simply a fun thing to add to a conversation, they are definitely here to stay. They are, after all, descended from the ancient ways of storytelling, and as long as the internet and instant messaging exist, so will the need to use images as a means to communicate with others. So what is your favorite emoji? Comment it down below. I personally use the shocked emoji face quite a lot. And if you had the chance to add your own emoji, which one would it be? That's it for today's video. It's a bit different than other game-related videos, but if you still enjoy the video, make sure to leave a big thumbs up below. And also subscribe. We really appreciate every single one of you. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.